Welcome back. This is Danielle from Sport Yourself Natural, and I wanted to do a little chit chat. I have a couple orders that I need to put together, and I figured we could do a little chit chat. So let's get started. All right, so the first order that I have is for a Luscious Lemon Soap, Rainforest Soap, Simply Lavender, and a unscented body butter. Okay. And then we're doing 4 Luscious Lemon, 2 oats and aloe, okay, so while I figured that order out, I thought of a topic that we could chat about, or I could chat about and you could listen about. Feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. I love to hear what everybody thinks or if they're on the same page. So I'm almost 40 years old. So I've been around for a little while. And when I first started out in like the real world, and in my old life, when I first was an adult, I had gone to school to be a cosmetologist, so like a hairstylist. And for years and years, I worked in the customer service department. So I was a hairstylist, I was a bartender, I worked in healthcare, I recruited doctors and nurses for quite some time. Then I worked in property management, and I would help people find homes. And then I went full-time as a soap maker, so still in customer service. I like customer service for the most part. I like dealing with people, but what I have found for the 20 plus years that I have, been working with, the public itself, is I am a people pleaser, or I should say I was a people pleaser. Yes, 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 I will do whatever I can to make you happy. What I'm doing that brings you joy brings me joy. That's how I worked for years and years. Up until probably like 5-10 years ago, like that's how I brought happiness to myself, was bringing happiness to others. And it doesn't work that way. You need to bring happiness to yourself, not through other people, but doing things for your own goodwill. With that being said, I wanted to talk really about work-life balance, because I, for years, was a proud workaholic. I would work 40 to 60 hours a week easily. I took pride in that's what I did, all that I could, all my accomplishments. Like I worked myself up high to a lot of places, and I'm very proud of those achievements, but also like I put my happiness and my family's happiness and my togetherness with my family ahead of that, and that's not what the world's about. It's about experience. It's about living for yourself. It's about seeing things, and just truly appreciating the world itself. It's not about the 9-to-5, how much money I can make, how many people I can recruit, how many new hairstyles I can do, whatever it might be. Like that is not what I was brought here to do. I was brought here to experience and learn and enjoy the fruits of my labor. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to work. I'm here to live. So I don't need, well, you need to work, but you know what I mean? Like I'm not here. That's not my main priority. Not anymore anyways. And it shouldn't be. And I think that this hustle culture that a lot of people are coming out of, like that's what we were trained to do. In the public school system, unfortunately, that's what they tell you you need to do. It's what you're trained to do, and then you do it. and you think like I am doing well because I'm accomplishing these things, when in reality, you're missing out on so much more. And so I just really wanted to talk more or less about the work-life balance and not feeling that guilt or that shame when you want to spend time with your friends and family and loved ones, that you can say no to customers and clients, and you need to do what makes you happy. If that's what makes you happy, is to work, 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 yes, 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 people, you do you. But I have found the more I say no, the more I set boundaries, the more I'm comfortable with myself enjoying the things around me, happier I am. And I just want to remind you that you don't need to always be that yes person. And you need to say no, and you need to appreciate all the things around you, because that's what we're here for. The whole purpose that we're here is to enjoy all these beautiful things around us. And that can be anything for any person. Everyone's different. Everyone has their things that make them happy. And that can be family, friends. It can be work for some people. And I hope I don't mean any ill intent saying that, because for some people that is what brings them joy. And it brought me joy for years. But I think that if somebody told me when I was younger that it doesn't have to bring you joy, and you can do other things that bring pleasure to you, I think I would have stopped earlier in saying yes. I would have, put boundaries ahead years and years ago, and not just in the last 5 to 10 years, unfortunately. I could tell you so many stories on like how I used to thrive off saying yes to people. Like, I loved it. If I could make somebody else's day by doing something to accommodate them, bring a smile to their face, give them what they're asking for, like, I loved that shit. And I still do. When people come to me and they say, can you make me this? Or they come back and say, I really enjoyed X, Y, and Z that I purchased from you. Of course you enjoy that. But it's different. It hits different, and it's a different type of satisfaction. When people come to me and say like, oh, I really like this scrub that you made. It's, leaves my skin so soft. I really enjoyed it. I shared it with my mother-in-law, whatever. That makes me feel proud of the fruits of my labor. I'm good at that. That's something that I excel in. That's a different type of satisfaction than when I was younger and I would do something to please somebody. It was getting the reaction from them and not them saying what you're doing, you're doing a good job doing this. It was like doing something for somebody else, and I was getting something back in return. I hope that makes sense. I hope all that comes together. I'm a rambler, so sorry. So I just redid my studio. I have a whole new room, so I moved everything from one room to the other. It's been a little bit chaotic these last couple weeks, but I'm really happy with where I am so far. I mean, I could always be further along, like for sure. I'm definitely behind from where I wanted to be, but I could be further from there, so I should just be happy with how much I've accomplished. But figuring out where everything is when you have something in a certain space for like so many years, and you just know like you could do it blindfolded, like where everything is, to move things. And I like where I'm putting everything. Like, I'm putting a lot of thought into where each item is going. Like, realistically, where is it? How close is it to whatever it is? So like, say for packing, where are your packing materials? Is it all scattered all over the room? Are they in one designated area? That type of thing, or like scents or colorants or packing materials or empty containers to make the products. Like, I'm just trying to be as thoughtful and thought out as possible. But to remember where they are, it's so much harder than you think. Like, I'm just all over the place. I'm like, oh, I have to go get this. And then you have to think like, oh, where is this? I suppose if you move stuff around all the time, like that's no big deal for you. But like if I find a place where I like something, it's going to stay there. It's going to stay there forever. Unless I find a reason to move it. You know what I mean? Like a super important reason. But I like to keep things where they are. I don't move my house around too much. Like once I find a spot and it makes sense and I like that spot, it stays there. Okay. Do you like to move your stuff around? Like when I was younger, I would like move my room around all the time. My first apartment, I'd move stuff around. But I think that when I'm moving stuff now, I'm super, super intentional. So like when it finds its spot, like it's the right spot and it kind of just sits there. Not always, but for the most part, like I really take the time to place something instead of just like scattering it around. My oldest is like me. Like once she finds a spot, it stays there. It doesn't move. She knows where it is. She likes it. My youngest, on the other hand, like she moves her room around and like she can't do the bigger stuff just because she has a smaller space, but like toys, all of that, like everything, she likes to try to rearrange her dresser all the time. Like she just likes that constant change. And it makes me giggle because I used to do that as well when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, I don't so much. Okay, so let's get a label for this box. Okay. So if you have a home space, a home studio, a place where you store your stuff, do you have any recommendations? Like I'm trying to figure out the best way to streamline everything. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything because like I said, once I find the right way, like I like to leave it that way. So I'm trying to find the best way to stay organized, keep organized in a small space, because even though I have like a full room to dedicate toward everything, it's still not the biggest room, It's probably like a 12 by, like an 11 by 13, 11 by 15, maybe 11 by 13. Yeah, because I think my room's like a 13 by 18. It's definitely a lot bigger than this. Okay. This one isn't being gift wrapped or anything. This is for like a family friend, and my husband just drops it off to them. I used to like put it all in like gift boxes and she would always send it back, like the gift boxes. So like I'd put like the bow and all the stuff and she'd always send all the stuff back. And she's like, just give it to me in like a grocery bag. I'm like, I don't want to put it in a grocery bag. I appreciate you. She's like, I want you to save the wrapping. So now I just put it in like a little box like this with her name and the price for it. It looks a little better than like a Walmart grocery bag. And it has the price so that my husband will know how much to charge her. So I've been out of the loop for a couple weeks. I went on vacation for a few weeks, which was absolutely amazing. We go on vacation every year, a couple times, but we do like camping. We stay local, that type of thing, or in the New England area. We typically like don't go far. And we haven't since pre-COVID. Me and my husband went to Mexico in 2019, and that's the last time we went away like on a plane go away. And we went to Disney World for 10 days. It's a lot. It's a long time to go to Disney. We only had like 1.5 day of like a pool day. So, and I'm like, when I go on vacation, like I'm typically the opposite. Like I like to like relax. Like my ideal vacation is like somewhere at the beach where I'm just doing nothing, just like eating and drinking and being a lump on a log. Like that's what I typically like for vacation. I usually plan the vacation, so that's what we do. But my husband actually wanted to plan this vacation, the whole thing, start to finish. I didn't know much of anything. Most of it was a surprise to me. So like I wouldn't even find out what we were doing until like the night before or the day of. And there were even a couple things that he kept a secret. He's like, you won't know until we get there. And it was kind of refreshing to like just go with the flow and have somebody else plan everything, because as much as I love vacations, sometimes they're more stressful for me personally, planning and trying to get everything ready, packing for it, all that. And just for someone to say, pack a bag and I'm going to take care of it, was really nice. And I did enjoy that very much. But it was different than what I'm used to for a vacation. Like I said, I'm like the pool goer or like at the ocean. Like I like to lounge a lot more on vacation. And we just went full speed ahead every single day, even the day that we left and the day we got there, full days. So I'm absolutely exhausted. We got back 2 days ago. I'm still exhausted. I feel like I need a week's worth of sleep. I'm so excited we did it. Only our youngest one, our oldest, did not go. She stayed home. She works full time, so she stayed home. So it was just 3 of us, and it was a lot. But I think I probably did more on this trip than if we did 3 or 4 trips of me planning it, going to the same place. Like we banged a lot out. We got a lot accomplished. And it was really fun, and happy that we got to go and experience it. I feel like this is a one and done type of thing. I know some people can go to Disney like every year or multiple times a year. I went, I enjoyed, and I'm content. You know, maybe I'd want to go again in years when my youngest is even older, or when one of my kids have kids and they want to go. But I don't think it's something that I don't have that itch to scratch when it comes to going to Disney all the time. Do you? I love to hear people, like I hear adults, they're like, it's the only place I want to go for vacation. I want to go all the time and go multiple times a year. And then you get others that are like, no, just like 1 or 2 times and I'm happy. That's me. 1 or 2 times and I'm happy. I've been twice now, once as a teenager, once an adult. I'm content with it. But a lot of people that we know are the opposite. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Coming around the bend to the last one for today. I put my whole business on hold. Like I shut everything down. I never do that. Usually when we go on vacation, like I said, we stay local, like we camp a couple weeks out of the year. And I'll stay open and I'll just say like, you know, coming back on this day, shipping out on this day, that type of thing. Or I'll even come home, like if we're local enough, and I'll just extend it out 3 or 4 days. So I come home like halfway in between, do laundry, ship some orders, go back to the campground. And this time I was like, no, none. You get none of those things. And it was really nice. It was really nice to like officially really genuinely go on vacation and not do any of those things. I can't tell you the last time I did that. I don't think I've really ever done that. I did. The last time I did that was when me and my husband went to Mexico. Like I shut everything down because we were gone for like a week. But it was nice. It was very needed. I didn't check any, like my work email, I didn't check. I didn't do anything. But I think because I had told everybody, I put them on my socials, I put like an away message on my email, that type of thing. I didn't have anything like major to come back to. I did have a couple wholesale orders right before I went out, had 2. And then the last one was like days before. Like she messaged me and she's like, can you get me this? And I was like, I'm going on vacation. I have to get it done now. Because she was looking for it right away. But it was nice that all like the big stuff was taken care of. So when you, as a small business, go away or take your free time, we talked about work-life balance. What do you do? Do you shut everything down? Do you have no problem doing that? What do you do? Like what's normal for you? I've definitely learned as the years have gone by, even with business, because like that's hard. Like I get like work-life balance, like I understand all of that. I do much better, but I also like as a business owner, someone messages you at like 10 at night. Like, do you reply? Do you wait till the next day? Do you have strict working hours? Like, how do you manage all of that? Because I don't have strict working hours. Like when my kid's in school or at camp in the summer, I work. But if someone messages me at a reasonable time, like not 10 o'clock at night, but like 6 or 7, and I'm just sitting there watching TV or I'm not doing anything like super important, and it's a more important reach out, I will reply. Should I? I think it depends. It's a case by case. Like if someone's just messaging me for something dumb, not dumb, but like not super important, not priority, you wait till the next day. But if I have something like on the more important side, or I have like a new potential wholesale customer or something like that, like I'll take that time to prioritize that type of thing. What do you typically do? How do you handle that type of stuff? And as you have gone along as a business owner, like tell me, how long have you been in business? And then like what's your like your standard, your protocol? I can use a smaller bag for that type of stuff, because I've noticed the longer I've been in business, the more strict I've become. I can say no, as opposed to when I first started, I didn't say no to anything. You want to message me at 11 o'clock at night, I will reply. Like I always tried to accommodate. But I feel like that kind of bites you in the butt sometimes when you do that, because then people think that they don't respect your boundaries and your off time. Or at least not for me. Not saying everybody, but there's always those couple people, if you don't put your foot down and say, these are my hours, then they'll expect a response right away at any time, any day, that type of thing. I'm sure you all have had those people. Okay, so all my packages are done for now. I did just have another one come in, but I'm going to wait on that one. It was such a pleasure chit-chatting with you. I hope to hear from you guys on what you do, if you have any recommendations on organizing, moving stuff around in here, and also how you handle customers. You know, do you have those limitations or those guidelines that you set in place? I would love to hear. All right, I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.